Brian Windhorst, kind enough to be here with us.
Thank you.
Can I confide in y'all about something? I got a couple of league executives taunting me as we speak, saying stop mentioning the Knicks, Stephen A. Get over it. KD's probably going to end up going to Brooklyn. Just get over it. Just torturing me right now because everybody knows I want him with the Knicks.
Here it goes, Kemba Walker, Tobias Harris era for the
hating
Knicks.
on Kemba Walker.
I love Kemba Walker's excellent, but they aim for KD. They get Tobias.
I don't know how much truth there is to it, but the Sixers swear that they're determined to keep both Jimmy and Tobias. We'll see.
Okay. Fair enough.
That was smart to trade Porzingis.
I will not receive that KD news. I will not receive it. It's too early, and I rebuke it. So I will.
Thank you, Molly.
I am looking at you, though. Which player's under the most pressure tonight for Game 3?
Okay, so I don't think that the Raptors per se are under pressure because they just got to get one of these two. But the Warriors have had to completely shelve their game plan against Kawhi Leonard. They wanted to double team him like they did with Damian Lillard in the last round. They wanted to force him to get the ball in his hand. Game 1, even though they lost it, Kawhi 14 shots, 23 points. That's what you want. But now that both of their primary defenders are hurt, Iguodala, who couldn't even guard him down the stretch because he was so banged up in Game 2. Now Clay limited. And they don't have Kevon Looney. They've had to go back to the more traditional big men. They can't double team. So Kawhi has a green light to play against defenses that are more comfortable. Look what happened in Game 2. With Iguodala banged up and without Looney, he scores 34. So this is the window. No Durant, not here. Hobbled Clay. He's only going to get healthier as the week goes on. This is the moment for Kawhi Leonard to strike a dagger in and grab the series lead with the Warriors possibly at their weakest.
There's every moment is Kawhi's moment. He's not worried about double teams. None of that stuff can stop Kawhi. Nothing they can do can stop Kawhi. Kawhi's own legs can stop him. You know, like his shot's not falling because his legs are shot, but he's got that extra day rest now. It does not matter. By the way, I thought Iguodala did an admirable job on defense.
They had to take him off down the stretch.
Yes, early on, right, because to do it all game is a lot. But Iguodala is a man. So is Draymond, like the way they've been playing when it matters most. But Kawhi is that way too. The best player in this series, by far, and it is not close, is Kawhi Leonard. He's the best offensive player in the series, and defensively Steph is the only comp to him offensively who's healthy right now, and defensively the only comp is Draymond. It's like Steph and Draymond in the same body. That's Kawhi Leonard, and unlike Steph, he's cool under pressure at the end of games. The pressure is on Steph Curry. Look. I'm not talking about Steph is doubled, so Steph makes the right basketball play, and then his numbers suffer, and he shouldn't be criticized for that. I agree with that. The Golden State Warriors are great primarily because everyone wants to play with it here because Steph set the culture because he's that type of player. Good for Steph. I'm talking about at the end of games when you are the conductor of the greatest half-court orchestra that ever was. In the finals, Game 7, on your home floor after a 73-win season, you are not allowed to not score in the final 4:22 of the game and lose to the Cavs. But that's what happened, including missed threes, including passing up threes, including behind-the-back passes into the stands, unforced turnovers. Are you kidding? And you could argue that was the most pressure-packed game in the history of basketball, considering it was on the line. That's one of them for the Warriors. That's how Steph played. The reason you won Game 2, it was an accident. The boxing won. Oh, the boxing won. Boy, that's a high school defense. Only it worked, and Steph tried to turn the ball over. It wound up in Iguodala's hands. You're lucky you won the game. And the Raptors were missing shots. The pressure is on Steph. It's 5 straight finals. Can he win an MVP? Can he come through when it matters most? Not when he's got KD and everybody's chest out, but when it's like, who's going to win this series? Can he come through now with Clay out when they need him most? Can he get his team the W? The pressure's on Steph.
I disagree. I mean, a three-time champion who's obviously the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He's in this position. I get it. If this were Game 7, I'm vibing with you. Game 3, utterly ridiculous. Here's the deal. The pressure's on Draymond, and here's why it's on Draymond. Because Draymond is going to have to find a way to be more of a presence offensively. Boogie Cousins coming back taking some of the heat off of you in terms of banging those big bodies with a Gasol, with an Ibaka, and guys like that. If Boogie Cousins is in the lineup, obviously Clay out of it because I don't think he's going to play in game 3. I'm not sure, but I don't think he's going to play. You're going to see them. What are they going to do? If they put a boxing one on Steph Curry when Clay went out in game 2, what do you think they're going to try in game 3? I'm expecting them to double Steph, try to get the ball out of his hands, and to dare the Iguodala's and the Draymonds of the world to shoot. What has been Draymond Green's pretty much only impediment throughout the playoffs? His perimeter shooting is not there. He practically does everything else. He defends, mans up, zones up, doesn't matter. He can get to the hole, particularly against bigger, slower guys. He's rebounding. He's defending. He's doing all of these different things. The one thing you can't rely on Draymond for, even though he's made a couple, is perimeter shots, particularly open three-point shots. Why was he going to be the MVP had they won the year Cleveland won? Because he dropped 32 and 15 in the game 7. Why? Because he was draining jump shots and three-pointers all over the place. Draymond Green is a jump shot away. I'm talking about a consistent jump shot away from being talked about on a Hall of Fame level. If Dennis Rodman can be in the Hall of Fame.
No, he's already Hall of Fame.
But I'm just saying, I said talked about. I'm not saying he's not going to go, but talked about. So when you look at it from that perspective, in a game like this where Klay Thompson is not expected to play, Draymond Green hit some shots and watch what happens to the Toronto Raptors.
He's making a great point because nobody in their right mind would ever play zone against the Golden State Warriors. You would think, why would you ever play zone 2-3, 3-2? They played the box zone because they were not afraid of the shooters. Now, granted, when you do come home, you may see Jonas Rebko make a couple more. You may see Alfonso McKinney get a couple more.
Quinn Cook.
But basically, Stephen A., what they said with that box and one is, we don't believe that the Warriors can
because Clay was already out. Because Clay was already out.
But look, we almost would never think this was possible.
The X's and O's will fade into history. People will remember is that they went to 5 straight finals and Steph didn't win a single MVP. If they lose this series because they lose at home.
We're talking about game 3.
Look, I'm not saying but this is a pivotal game because Clay. But first of all, if they take home court right back, the team that
Nobody's
has home court,
pay attention
they'll
to
have
game
outplayed
3.
them in 3 straight
They're
games.
going to pay attention to the series. You're right, but they're not going to pay attention to game 3. Max,
I understand, but
on a 1-1 series,
but it's a pivotal game. I'm not claiming that Steph is incapable of doing this. I'm claiming he hasn't done it yet. These guys write their own scripts. This is the best reality TV there is. James Harden could have balled out under pressure in these playoffs. He didn't. Kawhi did. We saw KD early on do it. These guys write their own scripts. It's not written in stone. Steph, where were you the night when you were at home, down KD, down Clay, Kawhi coming on, tied series? How did you play? History will record it. The pressure is on Steph Curry.
And that might happen tonight, so how likely is he to disappoint?
I haven't seen him come through yet under these circumstances. I'm rooting for him. I will
say this. We honestly don't know what's going to happen in this series. The last few years, we kind of knew. There were little pulls and pushes here and there. It could go either way. The Warriors are being held together with tape and twine right now with their health. Somebody is going to step forward. Is it going to be Kawhi? Is it going to be Steph? Is it going to be Draymond? Well, it is wide open for a hero. The hero's got to emerge.
Yes.
And I guess what I'm saying is, look at it when you. But listen. The reason why I bring up Draymond as well is because what do we say about him being that emotional, spiritual leader of the franchise, recognizing what their doldrums are, what their deficiencies may be, rising to the occasion, and then not only as a team but on a personal level, because even though he's not going to be a free agent, this is a guy that lost 23 pounds during the season to get himself ready for this. He understands this is personal to him, and I think he's going to rise to the occasion.
But here's the difference. If Kawhi's not scared and he has the ability. Steph has the ability. If Draymond doesn't succeed, it won't be for lack of heart or lack of effort or lack of trying. It's because he doesn't have the talent with the shot. The problem with Steph and the reason the pressure is on him is because we see the talent. And what everyone's saying is it's the 15th round of a championship fight.
No, right? You're saying that.
That's right.
Not everybody.
No, but
you are.
I am saying it.
Round of a 7
That's right.
I am saying it but history will record it this way.
Eventually, but not for the debate on First Take leading into Game 3. And they leading into Game 3. We're talking about a series that's tied 1-1.
What I'm saying about it now will become the soundtrack, the voiceover of the doc.
So you think?
Yeah, that's right.
So
I'm narrating the history right now.
Oh, by the way, you're probably right. Or then again, you might be wrong because you might come up with another narrative by Game 6.
Well,
and we'll use that one.
That's a talent, Stephen A. Don't hate.
It's his story. Brian Windhorst.
These guys are great.
Thank you for being with us. We'll see you on the Jump later. And SportsCenter, guys, give it up for Windy. When First Take returns from Oakland, Game 3 tonight.